Okay, we set the target. We have this. This is the different plugins that we can enable or disable. For example, we are going to enable all the audit plugins. If you want to know what a plugin does, you simply click on it and you see the description. If it has configuration parameters, you can just set them there. If you are really into this, you would want to edit the plugin. You will see the code and all the stuff it does. So we enabled some plugins, we set a target, we are ready to go. We hit start. We see a log of all the things that are happening at this moment. So it's starting with to run some plugins, okay? And at some point in red we see that it found some vulnerabilities. This graph shows a compressed image of what's going on here. We can filter this to show only vulnerabilities. And we go to the results. In the results we see the different vulnerabilities. This is like watching directly to the knowledge base. So we can find with the framework found some vulnerabilities that are shown here. And for example, we have this OS commanding, really trivial vulnerability, but nice to show. We have the vulnerability here. We have the description. We know that it was found in the request with ID 43, and that request is shown to us here. This is the request that triggered the vulnerability, and this is the response, the HTTP response. We have a nice way of displaying the sitemap, and we have a little log for all of the requests that are made. Okay, you can analyze this. This is every request that is made by the framework will end up here. Nothing is missed. So if you are doing an audit job or pen testing and you want this, it's really useful. And you also have the exploit section where you have the exploit plugins here, the vulnerabilities here, and if you select the correct exploit, it's going to show up here. You drag and drop, it says something, and then you have the shell, and we are executing with this OS commanding vulnerability. We're executing on the remote server. Like that, we can drag and drop, for example, with SQL map. If we had a SQL injection vulnerability here, we could drag and drop, and something like a SQL injection shell would be shown to us. We don't have time to show every feature. We are going to show something else. This is for the manual section of the framework. For example, this section is a fuzzy request generator that has how do you say it? Python syntaxes. So if you do something between the $signs, you are going to be generating an iterator that's going to generate a lot of requests. We are going to see this. So for those that know Python, this is really simple. We are doing a list of 10 items from 0 to 9, and we are going to be requesting HTTP localhost 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 9. So that's it. We send it. We can see all the requests and responses here, they look all the same. But this is the odd one out. But just imagine that you're analyzing, and instead of 10, you have 10,000. You would like to know in an easy way and fast way which one is the odd one out, because you don't want to click 10,000 times these little arrows. So you cluster the responses, and you see that this one is really different. These ones are all the same. So this is the odd one out, and this is a 404. And this is a really cool graph that you can navigate like this. It's clustered by graph base.
No, what are the numbers?
Oh, the numbers are the IDs. The numbers are the IDs of the requests.
And the position is based on size?
The position is based from the Levenstein distance between the responses, the HTTP body responses. The Levenstein distance is the editing distance between two strings, so it compares them like that. The only bad thing about this is that if you have like 5,000 requests and responses, the comparison and the generation of the distances between those strings is rather complicated and takes a lot of time, but we are working on it, and maybe we're going to use the length of the responses in order to generate this graph. Okay, we also have, for example, some encoding and decoding, really simple. Oh, I missed some section. Let me exchange 10. Okay, we send all the requests, and for example, we want to compare this one with this one. So this is a visual diff, and you can see that we are comparing two HTTP responses. You can see that this line is the only one that changes, and this is the only change. So this is really helpful when you're doing some SQL injection, something strange. Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay. Some of the interesting features we have are the tactical exploitation features. We have a plugin that will spider archive.org. This site has old versions of the sites, so we are going to spider archive.org and check if those sites that were linked in the past are still in the actual site. We have found that some sites have non-linked sections, and those non-linked sections in the actual site were linked in the past, so that old section will give us possibly a vulnerability. So that's pretty cool. We have also